Your co-host, Javier Vicuna.
And today we have a special guest, Lizbeth Mendiata, who will be talking about Marin County Youth Commission. Lizbeth, can you introduce yourself to the audience?
Hi, my name is Lizbeth Mendiata. My pronouns are she, her. I've been on the Marin County Youth Commission for about 4 years now, and it's something I love, and I'm really happy to be here to talk about it.
Wow, 4 years? That's
That's a
that's
long
that's a
time.
long time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wow. So, are you currently a senior in high school or
I'm a junior.
you're a junior?
I joined in eighth grade.
Oh, wow.
Um, That's
Dang.
really good.
Yeah.
How did you learn about the program in middle school?
So, in middle school, my sister, she was in a program called Club Live, hosted by the Youth Leadership Institute.
Hmm.
And they sent everyone some letters saying, "Hey, there's this really cool." I think it was a focus group on housing, and she invited me to go with her because she's like, "We get stipends, like there's free food. Let's just go check it out." And then I found out that the focus group was hosted by the Marin County Youth Commission. So I was like super interested just because I'm like, I want to be doing this stuff. And I applied and then I got in the next year.
That's really great. I'm inspired by like youth who are able to go out in the community and do what they love and do what like they're passionate about. So it's really great how you're able to find like opportunities in middle school already and like continue working on it. And just like to learn a little bit more about like outside of your work um, as a youth commissioner. What's your favorite hobby?
My favorite hobby, oh my God, I love this question. I like to collect records.
Oh,
It started like mid quarantine last year or 2020, just because I was super bored. And then I bought my first record because I loved Lana Del Rey and I saw her vinyl in Target. And I was like, whatever, I'll just buy it. It's like only 20 bucks. But I was like really fascinated with vinyls because they're like really cool. And I now I have like over 20.
that
Do you have
is
a record player?
awesome.
Yeah, I got it for my 16th birthday last year.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I feel like it's very like aesthetic
Yeah.
and does it work too? Like does it play?
Yeah, I think the only thing that shocked me at first was learning that like record players don't play the music loud themselves. You need to like connect it to some audio speaker. And I'm like, that makes sense because whenever you see like old record players, they have like a big horn looking thing, and it's like that's where all the audio comes from.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's awesome that you're into records because I was introduced to I collect records too. And
That's cool.
I've been collecting records since I was in middle school because my dad is really into music. And he got me obsessed with like collecting CDs at first, and then I was like, wow, I love all this old music that but you can just get them on because before like a lot of old music got really popular because of TikTok.
Yeah.
um it was really hard to find CDs or MP3s or on Spotify, or what I used before was like Pandora, right? To find any of these songs anywhere, like I could only find them on YouTube, and like these really weird like videos that you'd have to find on YouTube specifically to listen to certain kind of music. But you could find them on vinyl, and like you said, like my dad helped me buy my first record player. And yeah, you have to buy like a whole amplifier for it, right? So,
Yeah.
so that the music actually sounds through. And then when I went to Japan in 2017 for my senior year of high school, I did nothing but buy records because in Japan, CDs and vinyl is the main way that they listen to music over there. They don't actually listen to music just on Spotify and stuff. They prefer to listen to stuff through CDs and vinyl. So there were so many record stores and so many CD shops that I just went crazy, you know. Um, and I even got this right here. This is like one of my
That's
favorite
so
little
nice.
EPs from a Japanese artist that I've been listening to. And everyone thought I was crazy. Was like, why do you have this? Like, why'd you buy this? And I'm like, well, because I really like the music, and it's not available on Spotify now. It's available on Spotify, but it wasn't available on Spotify before. Um, And I'm just really happy to have this because now it's kind of worth a lot of money because a lot of this music became popular on TikTok now, and the vinyl
Yeah.
prices went up. So
Oh.
I got on the hype train before it was hype. So
You got lucky.
That's so cool. Like you had that in handy,
yeah, no.
Javier.
As soon as she said records, I was like, oh, I have one right here. I have one right here next to me. So yeah.
Yeah, well, that's really great to know a little bit about yourself, of like the vinyls. And I didn't know anything about that, Javier, but it's really cool to hear you guys bond over that. And now we can just continue more of like what you do in MCYC. And so, do you want to tell us like what is your current role?
So my current role is more of just a participant. I don't have any special role right now. They have different roles that they share in the beginning of the term. So they have co-chair. They have two co-chairs that like lead the whole meeting. They have a secretary to write everything down. They have a government liaison to like help us organize meetings with our local supervisors. They also have a social media person just so they can like post everything and make sure to keep up with our social media accounts. Um, I'm trying to think of more.
Mhm.
They have seats for every subcommittee. Like last year, I was the a co-chair, and it was pretty easy because it was all virtual. So I would just lead meetings with my friend who was also co-chair, and it was a pretty cool thing. But this year, I because I'm a junior, so I knew I was gonna be super busy. So I just like stepped back, and I like to participate more because I don't know. I feel like it's a different like point of view. Like you get to see like from the teamwork
Mhm.
team member side, not really the leader.
So when you say participant, like you go to the events that they do, right?
Yeah, I'm like part of the youth commission. I'm in the meetings, but I don't have like a special role. I'm more just like I don't want to say like I'm just there, but
Oh, yeah.
I'm still a
Mhm.
member. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I understood.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But that's really cool that you're still able to join those meetings, because like you learn from like other people what they're doing. And do you want to share a little bit of like what do they do in the meetings?
Yeah. So we have a meeting every Tuesday, and that's 4 meetings per month. Two of those meetings are general meetings with everyone, all 23 of us, and then not four, two of those meetings are subcommittee meetings where you just meet with your group. So for the general meetings, we have like a lot of different things that we talk about. It's usually planned by our cabinet, which is like those special roles, like the secretary, co-chairs, government liaison, subcommittee chairs, those people plan it. And then our general meetings are like, it's just what they planned. So like last time we had a college panel and it was super cool because we got to learn about like um, our future by three of our seniors and then a guest that Samantha brought in. Samantha's like the leader, she's like our adult
Mhm.
person. But she like invited someone to talk to us about college just because it's like super soon and we like not all of us might have like the resources for it.
That's cool. So I wanted to add, so you mentioned subcommittees, and that was one of the questions I actually wanted to ask you was when I was doing my research on the Marin County Youth Commission, I saw that there are different like you said subcommittees. Like some have to do with mental health, education, racial equity, and then I think there's also one on drug prevention, right? Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So which subcommittee are you part of?
So I'm part of the LGBTQ subcommittee. It's a pretty new subcommittee. We've never had one before.
Oh.
Um, and the other subcommittees, like you mentioned, there's like we had racial equity, but we just discontinued it since well, the Youth Leadership Institute has a program for racial equity, and we just don't want to overlap with our work.
Hmm.
And it's also on different days, so anyone who's in the Youth Commission can also do that separate program. But yeah, as someone in the LGBTQ subcommittee, it's kind of difficult, like because you don't really have any previous work to base anything off of. So everything that we're doing is new. We have some trainings that we've been planning, especially for teachers. We're planning a lot ahead, but we want to teach teachers on like why pronouns are important and how to like properly handle a student in their class who's transitioning. So like what how to be comforting. And then our other subcommittees, like you mentioned, there's mental health, and they usually work on. I've never been on the subcommittee, but I know they usually work on like a really big summit at the end of our term. So like May, and this year's is on May 7th, so on Friday. And they have keynote speakers. They have some like group sessions where everyone can like go do something in a workshop in a smaller group. And then we also have the Alcohol, Tobacco, and Other Drugs Subcommittee, also known as ATOD. And this past year, I really like how they've been doing it, especially this past year, because they've taken a more harm reduction approach rather than like anti-drugs approach, because they've like realized that the reality is people are going to do drugs, and let's at least help people do them safely, rather than just telling people to not do anything at all. So
That's awesome.
they've had Narcan trainings they've held Narcan trainings and like given it to different communities, even Spanish communities in Marin.
Yeah.
And who else? The education subcommittee. I think those are our 4 groups. But the education subcommittee, they've hosted a financial literacy training really recently, like a few weeks ago. And then they've also hosted like community study spaces for students who just like don't really have a quiet space at home.
There's like a lot of work that MCYC is doing, which is great, and it's youth, which is amazing. And I was wondering, like, what was like your favorite event from all the MCYC events that has happened?
I really like, let me think. Oh, I really like I used to be on the racial equity subcommittee, and we used to have a curriculum that we taught to students and teachers on privilege. And most of the students and teachers that we'd like present to were like majority white people. So it was really nice to like open some people's eyes and teach some people about new things, or things that they knew that they have but just didn't know they have, like privilege. So I really liked that, just because it also got me, like, it was like earlier years, like when I was like just beginning in MCYC, so it really got me out of my bubble.
That's really cool, because like sometimes it can be like tough to like say what you need to say, and it's really nice, especially as youth, like we are like sometimes like shy to like say like what we want to say, because like adults tend to like speak more, but it's really nice how youth, especially in MCYC, are like raising their voice and raising awareness of like what are some things that need to be mentioned. And so I just want to thank you for your hard work, and I want to thank everyone in MCYC who are like currently working in these programs and events. You're doing a difference in the community, and just know that. And yeah, it's really cool.
And I wanted to mention too, so you're part of the LGBTQ plus subcommittee, and I was wondering if you went to the event that happened about 2 weeks ago at the San Rafael High School gym, where it was like a group of teens, and they all gave their different stories about coming out, right? Were you at that event?
No, one of my group members, she goes to the school, but she tried to go, but just something came up and she wasn't able to. But we shared it. I looked into it. It was really cool. I wish I could have gone, but like that type of like community event, I think is super cool. It brings people together, and it helps people feel more comfortable in their community.
Yeah, and I think like just from that meeting alone, because I went with another Tay Radio host, Kimberly. We were both there, and we were just like, we were left like speechless at how awesome the speeches were given by all the students, because I do truly think that it's so important for youth who are part of the LGBTQ plus community to like have a voice, right? And be able to speak on those issues that they face here in Marin. And it was really great just hearing also the parents be super supportive in those situations. So it's awesome that the MCYC now has a LGBTQ plus subcommittee, because I do think that is something that should be addressed more. So especially in youth. So and then talking about MCYC more in general, so how can someone become a youth, I guess, leader or participant? I'm not sure about the different roles, but how can someone get involved with MCYC?
Okay, so we have applications in July, and I've been part of the like application slash interview process for the past 2 years. So after you apply, you do have to get an interview. The last 2 years they were like half online. Well, 2020 was all online, and then last year, people had the option of coming in person to our YLI office in San Rafael. But it's really difficult to be on like the interviewing side because you want to like accept everyone, but there is only 23 spots. And it's it's just so difficult. Like I hate I love the interview process, but I also hate the parts where you're like, who do we pick? Who do we not?
Hmm.
Because it's really like hit or miss. Like you can like accept someone and then they can like turn out to be totally different. That's never happened. But it's also like in the back of your mind, like, oh my God, like what if we just said goodbye to like the best person ever and we have to tell
Yeah.
them no? But we also like to anyone that we can't accept, we like try to lead them onto a new path. So we'll tell them about other programs in the community, like other programs that the Youth Leadership Institute has, especially if like they have like a different focus than what we tend to focus on. We'll just like guide them to different opportunities because, and then we also invite them back to apply again, just because like you never know. Like I knew someone in my first year on MCYC who applied 3 times, and
Mm.
like her third time she finally got on, and she
Wow.
made such a big difference, and she knew that she wanted to be on it, and she didn't let those like rejections stop her.
Wow. So it's a very competitive program to get into then, it seems.
I feel like more recently, just because more people have heard about it.
Hmm.
Back when I first applied, I felt like not, I didn't really feel like I was like supposed to be there. I was like, why did I get on? Just because I was like, were my answers like that good? And I was like really confused. But now, like looking at the interview process and like looking at more and more applicants, like more people apply, it's like a lot more difficult. But yeah, I mean, I would say it's kind of competitive, but I'd also say just apply. Like you never
Yeah,
know.
just always do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You won't know till you try, right? So, yeah, and is it do you get paid through doing it, or is it just like an internship?
It's not really an internship. Like you don't get paid or anything. You just like volunteer time.
Mm, okay.
But I kind of see it as like a program that you like volunteer to do.
Mm-hmm.
You can get community service hours, I think.
Gotcha.
Um, but yeah, you don't get paid. Sometimes you get like opportunities, like they give you opportunities where could get paid. Like, oh, like there's this focus group and you get a stipend, but it's more
Mm-hmm.
of like separate opportunities that were like given. I don't know if that makes sense.
Gotcha. So the Marin County Youth Commission has its own website, correct, where people can just apply?
Yeah, it's through the I think it's on the Youth Leadership Institute. Um, it's on that website, and then it's also on the County of Marin website. But it just leads to the same place.
Okay, and you said applications open up in July.
Yeah, they're all throughout July. It starts in the beginning of the July, and then end of July is when they close.
All right, perfect. Thank you for that information. Annalie, did you
Mhm.
want to add?
Yeah, thank you for giving that information. Hopefully, anyone who listens is interested can apply. It sounds like a really good experience to be more open to the community. And of course, it doesn't always have to be from coming from MCYC. You can like volunteer at any other place. I'm sure there's like a ton of work that needs to be done in the community. So um, don't let that stop you. And we're going to move on to some announcements to see if you guys are interested in any of these opportunities in Marin. So there's going to be an event Tuesday, May 3rd. Um, it's called Decolonizing and Destigmatizing Mental Health in Latinx and Community. And event is open to the COM students, employees, and community partners. So if you're in College of Marin, You can join. It's going to be on the Kentfield campus, and it's on Tuesday, May 3rd, from 6 to 8, and they're going to have some light food and refreshments. So if you're interested in learning more about Latinx community and mental health, you should go. And there's also a scholarship for high school seniors. It's sponsored by National Latino Peace Officers Association. And we have like the application if you guys need the application to fill it out. And there's other requirements, like a transcript, a 2-letter recommendation, and the application. And this is due in May 23rd. So if you're interested, you can apply. And the minimum grade point average is 2.7, and you must attend a Marin County school. You can also be a student in college, but you can have at least less than 12 semesters. Semester units for the college. And then lastly, I think Lizbeth also mentioned this about the MCYC Mental Health Festival, which is this Saturday.
No, next Saturday.
7th. Next Saturday?
Next Saturday, yeah.
Yeah, next Saturday, May 7th. It's for teens, older community from 12 and up. And there's going to be different workshops, LGBTQ, carrying cards, dance. We're also planning to be there. So if you guys are interested in going, please join us. And it is hosted by Marin County Office of Education. There's going to be free food and music. And we hope to see you there. We'll put a link to the more information of where it will be. But unless, Lizbeth, anything else that you want to add about the mental health festival?
I just want to say it's like a really fun thing. I don't know the hours exactly, but you should definitely go if you can. I know I can't go in the morning, and I'm totally regretting it. But my group, the LGBTQ subcommittee, they're gonna have something there. So I think it'd be really cool to go and just check everything out. It'll be interesting, and you'll probably have more fun if you go than if you don't go.
Yeah, and if you have any questions about this event, you can always DM at Marin Mental Health on Instagram, or email Samantha, which is sramirez@yli.org. So if you're interested, please let us know if you need or you can look it up on our Instagram. We'll post it, and on Facebook. But moving on from the announcements, I was wondering, since you said that we're giving more awareness to people who are not people of color, I was wondering if there's a good representation in MCYC as leaders there.
I think this year, especially these past 2 years, we did have a change in leadership from the last 2 years to years before. I loved the person before, and I love the person now, Samantha Ramirez.
Yeah.
But one of Samantha's biggest goals is to make sure that different aspects of Marin are presented. In years prior, we had majority white people. I think my first year, I was one of 3 or 4 people of color, and that's out of 23 students. I found a lot of comfort in the leader, Wendy, because she was also a woman of color. So I think it's really important to have the leaders be someone that you can connect to. But since then, we've grown, and I think our majority now is people of color, and there's the minority is white people. So I think it's really interesting just because they all represent different aspects of Marin. We have a lot of people coming from private schools, coming from schools in San Francisco, coming from Tamales Bay, and they're all different. And there's some people who are POC, some people who are white, but I think now it's more, it is majority people of color, which I really like, because not all people of color are the same. You can't have 3 people of color in a group and say diversity.
Right.
So I really like that we're more diverse this year.
Yeah, it's awesome to hear that there's been like, a shift in the diversity pool there. So that's always good to hear. I wanted to ask also Lizbeth was so how do you manage shuffling like your school work and then the MCYC planning and your social life? Like how is that how have you managed to do that? Cuz it seems like you're doing a lot. And I'm just like impressed cuz you're just a junior in high school. So I'm trying to figure out like how do you manage all this?
It's like pretty difficult this year. I've never taken APs before, so it's kind of been like a
Mm,
breeze. But this year I'm taking two. That's also why I like stepped back from having like a big role in MCYC because I knew I'd be stressed.
mm.
Um, I love organization. I always organize. I kind of like pile my work on and then don't leave time for like socializing or like even like using TikTok. Um, but now I think like over time you kind of like figure out what works best for you.
Mhm.
So I know like this whole week I've been like cramming for exams, but I make sure to have like at the end of the day like 10 minutes at least for like watching some funny videos, just like getting away from the school work, like the organization, like program work, because I know like it's super difficult. And then my friends, they also have like pretty busy schedules. So planning, having a planner, like just having Google Calendar invites, like making sure everyone is on the same page, so we can all plan around our hangouts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like, we can be like productive, but we also need like a balance
Yeah.
of our own self time, just to like recover from like all the hard work that we've done. So, yeah, I really like how you are trying to manage that balance, and we wish you luck on junior year since junior year is like the big year in
Yeah.
high
Yeah.
school.
Yeah, no.
Um, but yeah, like, is there anything that you've experienced from this program that you would like to share to the community or youth of community here?
Um, there's a lot, but I think it's definitely like taking me out of my shell. Like I used to be super shy and I would like never talk to anyone in new spaces. But now I love to talk to people and I'm more of like the person who will go up to a quiet person and be like, hey, what's your name? Like, what school do you go to? So I really like the team building aspect that this brings on because like you're gonna have to know how to work with people for like your career and like no matter what career, especially like if you go to college, like if you plan on going to college or any if you plan on doing anything after high school, like you need to know how to talk to people and work with people. So I think this has like definitely helped me with that. I've like grown a lot. I feel like I've become a better leader too and like a better speaker. So I really like that.
Yeah, I really like how you said that, like, now you're able to reach out to people with who are like a little more shy, because like for me, I also resonate with that. Um like I used to be shy, and like I feel like I'm the shy person, you know what I'm saying? Like when I see someone who's shy, I'm like, oh, that was me, but I can reach out to them because like we're all good, you know, like it's like just meeting someone new, and you learn a lot from other people, so it's really great.
Yeah.
Yeah, but unfortunately, we only have like a few more minutes before the show ends. Do you have any last words before we do end?
This is so annoying, but follow us on Instagram. It's just Marin County Youth Commission, all one big at, and also follow YLI Marin because they also have some programs. If you don't really think that MCYC is your thing, and you want to take a different approach, they have a bunch of cool programs in Marin. So always feel free to DM both accounts and yeah, like just find something to do. Like there's always something for everyone. Even if that's not MCYC, there's like a bunch of other things and a bunch of other organizations that are going to want you. So
Hmm.
just like reach out.
Mm.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that to us, Lisbeth. And again, thank you for being on the show with us today. I think we can all agree, Anali, that like the work you're putting in for the community is amazing, and especially since you're again a junior in high school, that is so impressive to have under your belt, like all of these things that you've been doing. And I hope that our audience also gets at least some inspiration. Because I mean, even though I've already graduated from college already, like I'm still like inspired, like just hearing youth stories like this, because it's awesome. It creates a better future, you know, for everyone. So yeah, it's great that you've been on the show with us today, Lizbeth.
Yeah. Thank you so much. We appreciate your time, and it was awesome meeting you.
So, okay, thank you, Darlene.
All right,
Bye.
take care. Bye bye.
Bye.